All right, all right. Good morning, good morning. It is 6:31. It is Thursday. Wow. Just like that, it's Thursday. Where did the week go? Anyway, my name is Scott Redler. I'm the Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com and also the founder of Red Dog Mindset. A lot of people have been watching the videos coming from some of the events that we've been doing, and like, wow, Red Dog, that's a little different. I'm like, well, you think about it. I've been in this business and trading for 20, 30 years. I've seen traders come and go. I've seen guys make a ton of money and burn out. I've seen the guys make a ton of money and all of a sudden, get ahead of themselves and all of a sudden, add to their nut and buy a few houses, and then all of a sudden the market gets a little tight, and then they're not making as much as they did, and then all of a sudden they start pushing it and they start losing money, and then they start getting heady, and then they're out of the business. It's really the slow and the steady. It's those who, don't let their highs get too high, their lows get too low, that could actually turn this into a 10, 20, 30-year career. For me, I've been doing it for a long time, and I really take pride in my routine and process, my organization, how prepared I get, and that's what I try and do for you guys. That's how I try and teach you. In any industry, there are highs and lows. There's rejection. There's long days. There's long nights. No one's an overnight success. Anyone who says they're an overnight, it's funny when someone all of a sudden is successful, like, oh, he's an overnight success. Like, yeah, 20 years of overnights to get to where you are to be an overnight success. But anyway, at this point, yesterday was an interesting day. You had a hot CPI, really hot CPI, and all of a sudden we were down 50 handles, and then boom, just like that. If you remember yesterday, I did, say, hey, if we could hold 598.50, I even tweeted it out, right after, that chances are, maybe it's a buyable spot. And even though it was hard to think it was going to happen, boom, just like that, you held 598.50, and then kind of reclaimed 602, and here we are again, building this upper range. Pretty impressive. I've been talking to a lot of my trader friends, and some are doing really well, but it's been very hit or miss. All of a sudden you get a tweet, sector changes, rates have really not behaved, as far as with the bond market. So it's hard to get traction. But then if you put things in perspective, it's like, hey, in the last 2 years, the S&P was up 48% since like 1950 something or other. On average, you make 8 or 9% a year. So if you're up 48% in 2 years, chances are you borrowed a little bit, and we need to consolidate. That's why it's been a very specific, like a very stock specific, way to make money. And it's hard. Like you look at earnings after the close yesterday, TTD's getting crushed, Reddit's getting crushed, and then you have APP up 112 points. Which one did you do? So it's, anyway, with that being said, today's another day. So what you have to do is figure out, how your go-to list is forming, what you're staying with, what active sequences are making it easy to hold or not. And it's really not, there hasn't been that much continuity. But for today, you have the SPYs are up 50 cents, right? So here's the SPYs up 50 cents, 603.85. So it's above here. It's really tight. This is 604.55. It does feel like we're starting to feel like, maybe we can break to the upside. But again, I wouldn't get so overly excited. Just be careful if you're rolling up shorts. I know a lot of people getting crushed in the hedge fund world shorting Palantir, which has been one of the best actual day trading vehicles. If you look at it, look how gorgeous this chart's been. You've had so many, look at this gap. If you bought versus that gap, which is a strategy we use, you could have been holding this thing, making a ton of money. I was out with my friend Eugene last night. He's like, Red Dog, I remember when you told me to buy Palantir at 35. I still have it. I'm like, that's nice. I'm like, you're buying drinks then tonight, but we're not having too many drinks. It's a Wednesday night. But anyway, the last little spot here was 99.32. Remember, it got below it by $1. So if you had your stop here, and you didn't go back to it, you're probably like, oh my God, it got me out. I hate this name. Whereas you said, okay, now I have 99.32 as a pivot. That's my defined risk. Now you're all the way up here, and it's looking like it can continue. But you do get, like, remember this Red Dog reversal sell was a better sell than a buy. Then this Red Dog reversal got below here, came back above. So actively these trades change, but ultimately this has been one of the best names for active traders where, I was out, there was 2 hedge fund guys there, and they've been shorting this thing since 80. I'm like, you guys are, anyway, and you guys manage billions of dollars. So with that said, this has been a crazy name to the upside. It's been working really well. Yesterday, some people like, Red Dog, dash, the options might not work because I have a 202 by 220 call spread on. I'm like, It might not, but now at least earnings are out of the way. We have points of reference. And here you go. It's still a beautiful trend. Beautiful. Anyway, I did buy the stock. You now have 195.20 to trade against. They had for themselves, it was a historic earnings call. And if you look here at the weekly chart still looks really, really good. And still looks like it's on its way towards 225 to 250. So earnings are out of the way. That's great. So now we could just trade it. But for me, everyone like that the night after was when it was at 207, like, Red Dog going to get paid. I'm like, you do not count your money with your options, because you don't have, a lot happens between now and 9:30. Then yesterday, the CPI comes out, Dash goes from 207 to 198, and everyone's like, oh my God, I freaking hate options. They have to open them earlier. I'm like, you were just talking about how you were spending all your money. It was at 207. So anyway, these are very, things get emotional. So don't get emotional. Just slow and steady. Okay. Now we'll see what happens here moving forward. Some people yesterday, yesterday, you finally had an opportunity in Tesla. I still think it's broken, but there was a trade. Tesla went from red to green at the 6:30 club yesterday. I'm like, look at this. This is probably a good spot to be buying Tesla. It could go red to green, blah, 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 blah. It is broken. The stock's been broken, but doesn't mean you can't make cash flow. So anyway, with that being said, this was a great trend. Like I'm not going to just go over it again, from 275 above the 8-day all the way up to the Red Dog reversal sell. Here's probably the last time I lost money trying it on this day, and then got out of the way. So yesterday I'm like, we're going to buy it. So it went from down 4. By the time it was 8:15, the stock was up $8, and everyone was so upset. Like, I missed it. I missed the big trade. They take the trades away. I'm like, just chill out. There'll be more opportunities. And the hot CPI happens. They bring down the entire market. Now Tesla's down $1. I'm like, all right, guys. Futures are down 50, 60 handles. Tesla's only down $1. It's been relatively weaker for the past 2 weeks. Now it's stronger. Now's your opportunity. If you weren't pissed off 20 minutes ago, it was up 8. PS, it was down $1-ish when the market opened, and we went after it. You could have made $5, $6 in 3 minutes. And then, it had a bounce day. And then at the end of the day, I was on my way home from Liz Clayman. I go on with Liz, twice a month, and I see Tesla coming in. I'm like, all right, Tesla's coming in. Something must have just happened. I text the Alpha team. I'm like, Alpha team, what happened? Like, well, Elon said he's going to be doing a lot of things with Doge over the next 4 months. So people took it to the fact that less time on Tesla, too much time in government. It sold down. So I actually took it home on the close. So, it's just a way to keep navigating. This is the Alpha team. These are my positions. I don't have a whole lot going on, but I did take home Tesla yesterday. I took it on the close. It was a decision I made. If it was down, okay, but it looked pretty organized or pretty strategic, and I just trimmed a little bit. So they see it. So when you come in long, like right now, I come in long Baidu from yesterday. Didn't do anything with it, but I came in long Tesla and I trimmed a little bit. And Tesla right now is up 8. Hey, that's fun, So here's, I guess, Tesla on the daily. Where could Tesla get back to, even still be broken? I guess you have 346 and then 350. There's your 8-day. So here it's above the 8-day in a really awesome trend. Now it's below the 8-day. So things change. When things change, you change. Anyway, but from moral of that story is, you just don't get overly emotional if you feel like you missed something, because you always get another opportunity to do it if you're thinking and seeing it clearly. That's what I try and teach with the Red Dog mindset. And I appreciate some of you guys for subscribing. For those who've been watching the 630 Club for multiple years, it's free. I've been adding value for a long time. And I think if you've been making money, you can make even more money if your mind is right. I do this thing in the morning, 20 at 5:20, which is a workout I do every morning. I've been doing it without everyone. And now people are tuning in and going over my thoughts and going over the positions and what's happening with the keys of the day at 5:20. So some of you guys are up that early. Like, I want to have a friend that I could kind of exercise with and, hear about the thoughts, even if you're on the treadmill. But anyway, so if you've been watching the 630 Club and getting value, subscribe to Red Dog Mindset. It's not even, like I said, not even a cup of coffee. And that's where a lot of my weekend work is going to be. Whiteboard weekends are going to be a lot of lessons. That's where a lot of things from the public Twitter are going to be going behind it. But anyway, for now, if you happen to have bought Tesla for an oversold bounce, you're in it from yesterday when we were talking about it, then 346 will be a spot, and then 350 will be another. NVIDIA is kind of interesting. Okay. We had a really nice play last week when I remember being here when we were down 30 handles, when NVIDIA changed, NVIDIA finally started getting a little bit of relative strength. I'm like, NVIDIA went from really weak, which it was here, to a little relative strength. And now, hey, maybe there's another trade. This is what? This is 129. Not much of a pullback. If you use your retracement rules, it only pulled back like 25%, if that. What's NVIDIA doing today? It's down 23 cents. This could be a little bit of a play, a little level here. If you actually look, this is one of my day charts. So if you want to put a little bit of a line here, there's a chance that this might want to get above and fill more of this gap. So it's something. It's not an A play. It's just a play. Sometimes there's A plays, there's B plays, there's C plays, whatever. Someone asked me, where's their support in Reddit? I did not take Reddit into numbers. It was priced for perfection. It was a great trade for a lot of us for the last year. So maybe today we'll see how much of this gap holds. Here's a 50-day. This is 178. How much of this gap down will get filled? Guys were playing it yesterday after hours and actually made some decent money because they knew their levels. They were actually prepared for 178. So there was a spot. Now you'll see what point of reference you get. This has been a big move in Reddit. So again, earnings season's tough. If you played app and Reddit, which a lot of people did, and just say you risked, $3,000 in Reddit to make 20, you lost $3,000, and just say you missed $3,000 to make, who even knows, maybe here you're making 40 and here you lost 3. But if you picked this one and didn't pick that one, that happens during earnings season. It's annoying, but it is what it is. Get over it. Move on. Trading happens. Earnings seasons happen 4 times a year. I personally don't love earnings season, but moves like that get people to have FOMO. All right, let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Let's see who we got. Uber bounced nice. That's true. AMD is waking up. Joe Reposol says AMD is waking up. I like my friend Joe. You do have a lower pivot here. Okay, a little bit of a lower pivot. This has been very, 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 very broken. Okay, if I had $1 for every moment somebody said AMD is looking like it's going to wake up and bottom, I've had a lot of dollars, but again, I'd be down a lot of money. It's got to get above this. Where could it get to? I guess a 21-day. What's AMD doing this morning? Let's see. AMD it's up 69 cents. It's 112.40. What's this high here? This is let's see. Let's get rid of this. This is 113.06. In order to get to 117, it's got to get above 113. Yeah, maybe there's a trade there. Okay, I'm not going to poo-poo it because, again, I remember about 6 months ago, or the last year, how many people asked me, when are you going to buy BABA? When are you going to buy BABA? When are you going to buy BABA? BABA was your baby. That was 4 years ago. I'm like, if I had $1, every time someone said, when am I going to buy BABA? P.S. There was a time to buy BABA, and we bought BABA, and it has been fantastic for power plays, fantastic for the Alpha team, hopefully fantastic for you guys. Look at this move in BABA. A few things happened here. I remember when I told you I was in Florida, the hedge fund guys were talking about DeepSeek, and they were saying that BABA has a product that's better than DeepSeek, et cetera, et cetera. Or if they don't, DeepSeek's going to let their spending, their capital expenditures go down, and their margins are going to go up, and it's going to wake up in the China stimulus. I'm like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm like, so we started buying BABA here, and guess what? It turned into a nice active sequence above the 821 day. Fantastic. Back to the highs of October 4th. So I connected some of the dots, and I bought some Baidu. Bought some Baidu. This chart looks pretty good to me. It's got a nice, upper little flag type pattern. Here's 96.20. So I bought some options for earnings for next week, and I'm in the stock. What's it doing this morning? It's up a little bit, so that's nice. It's nice, I think. Let me take a look. It's up 222. So what do? I trim a little bit, and then and then I come back to it. So and I'll hold my options. I think this can get to 104, if not 116. If it has a move like BABA did, which not saying it has to, you're talking 116. So why? I think you can almost even continue to add to it until it gets through 96.20 to 104. Anyway, Red Dog, how about snow? Ivan says. By the way, these are all the dogs that are tuning in. Some of them have subscribed to Red Dog Mindset, so I appreciate you. They've been here with me for years, getting, some guys don't join the Alpha team because like, hey, Red Dog, $100 a month for 40 charts. I don't look at them. It's just, I don't trade for a living. I just want to you to set the tone and be like my friend Eugene, who's bought 4 things. So he bought Palantir at 30 or 40. He bought Rumble at 4. Lily he did on his own because his kid's name is Lily. And what was the other one? He bought Tesla at like 180, and he out of pure luck because I was out with him one night. I told him to sell it at 440. But anyway, so with that said, you want me to look at snow? Let's look at snow. Snow feels like software has gotten better. It's just, to me, I don't really focus on this sector. But you could say it's acting better. Yeah, snow is definitely this. You could be in snow from here. This is your pro gap if you're not trading. And now, yeah, if snow gets above 191, there's a whole nother gap to fill. So it's acting well. I guess I could be a little bit more active here. I'm just not. I'm not going to lie and say, hey, yeah, I'm making a ton of money in snow. But it's looking better. What's it doing today? Where's snow? SNOW up $1.49 at 188. Yes, nice day yesterday. If you bought the dip yesterday, held the 21-day. You know, some software looks good. Path, I remember Path. Not a great stock. I know. I was playing this a while, like a year or so ago. Everyone loved it, and I got my clock cleaned a bunch of times. This is when I was playing it up here. Yeah, I can always look back to when I was playing the stock, and I haven't played anything since this day. What's it doing today? I don't know. What's it doing today? Path is up 17 cents. It's not really showing anything that's so great. I will say someone from the Alpha team brought a name. I'm going to bring it to you. Okay, Grab. GRAB. Take a look at it. Do your own homework. Grab Holdings. Supposedly, this is kind of like a little bit like the Dash of overseas. So this pattern seems like it's getting stronger. Dash had a big move, like I told you, been trading from 125. So this is Grab. Do some homework on it. It woke up a little bit. I'm going to see if it turns into a nice active sequence. It's looking pretty good as long as it holds like this 470. It could rebuild and maybe, give you a nice play. This was as high as 560 back in November. It's consolidating, building a wedge. Could be good. If you go to the weekly chart here, this was something, I guess this came out also in the year 2000 and wasn't ready yet. And now potentially this is something that just put it on the radar. I just put it on my radar also. So with that being said, why can't it get a move? Yeah, why can't this get a move back towards here where it broke down from? Just woke up, and we'll see how it goes. So this is a new name. I've never talked about this name. I just started looking at it. I bought a little bit. On the weekly chart, looks like it woke up. It's hanging in here. So maybe it's a new piece of business. Someone asked me about when is crypto going to get better. Actually, let's go to the daily chart of IBIT. I did buy it yesterday. Seems like it's getting a little bit better. I know a lot of people made a lot of money with me during the turkey trot. If you remember right here on 10/11, I was like, guys, everyone starts getting really excited over Thanksgiving because Bitcoin is up a lot. I'm like, why not play it from October 11th to Thanksgiving? And we were buying it in the 60s, and I'm like, I'll get to 85, and then not only got to 85, then I started putting Santa Claus. Remember Santa Claus, the 100,000 dash, and it went to 108. Well, that was right here. Now it's just consolidating, taking its time. So I bought a little bit verse here. I'll probably add to it a little bit this morning. It's down a little bit. Okay, and see, this is my out. IBIT, I'm long verse 53.69, and maybe it gets a little tighter and wakes up. I like to buy high and sell higher, especially when it comes to momentum situations. And Bitcoin is one of the biggest momentum sectors when the momentum's there. Momentum was there right here, above the 8-day all the way up, and now it's in consolidation mode. Just be careful. Look how long this consolidation mode was. So anyway, my stop is here. I'm long it, and we'll see if can make us some money. Little Curbster says, look at Grail for me. I'll do that for you, Little Curbster. G-R-A, well, no, not Grail. Okay. The Holy Grail. Ooh, look, good job there. Someone else must have told me to look at it here because I drew those lines in. Nice day yesterday, above the 8-day. Congratulations to you. I wish I would have paid more attention right around here in the 20s. That's cool. Uber of Indonesia. Okay, interesting. Boeing seems to be looking much better. Boeing to me is a battleground. Boeing's tough. Yeah. Boeing came off the lows, woke up yesterday. Boeing's kind of this type of stock where you just have to, you can't really trade for a living and trade Boeing. It's just something you have to kind of believe in and buy when it's down. And, I guess you could say this was a really good active sequence for Boeing here, and then it broke below, and now it is starting to act better. But God forbid it's a accident away from a huge gap down. It could close strong, and then all of a sudden, something bad happens, and you're caught overnight. But Boeing, as far as the company, everybody's flying. But anyway, that's cool. Someone else is asking me to look at Apple. All right. I like Apple. Apple to me, obviously one of the best companies in the world. Sometimes it's broken, sometimes it's not. It was sold into numbers. We had a great active sequence here. I made a lot of money in November, December. Get out of the way when it broke the 8-day. I still use no matter what stock it is, I use my methodology. Came in, broke above this 235 yesterday. It's off a little bit. I would think, okay, what's this high here? This high is 230. I would say for this to continue, this should not get below 233 to 235. I'm long it. I'm going to add to it. If it were to break 233 to 235, it's not special. If it were to hold there and go green, and you could buy a dip and trade around it, to me, that's special. So we'll see what happens here. I have some options on. I have some stock. It was really good yesterday, and we'll see if it becomes really good today. If it wants to continue. If not, it's a great investment. Don't get rid of your investment. If you've been in Apple for like 3 to 5 years, congratulations. If you've been in it for a decade, it changed your life. If you trade it, though, and you're going to get paid in February, you got to make sure the type of composure it is. And a lot of these Mag 7 names are not great. Meta's been awesome. Netflix has been special. Now you have Microsoft in the penalty box. You have Google in the penalty box. And Apple is trying to figure out where it wants to live. So is Amazon. Look at Amazon. Amazon, looks like it's ready to break below this 228. It's got an unfilled gap from earnings, and I've traded it a lot less. After earnings, you want to see what kind of new trend you have. And at this point, Microsoft proved that these things that have holes in their charts could go lower. And actually this gave you a little red dog reversal yesterday. You now have this to trade against, this 405, but it's broken. Google's broken. So anyway, no way you want to live there. But, you could always use a little Airbnb and other stocks. That was a cute one. Anyway, with that said, it's 6:53. It's Thursday. PPI is coming out. It might shake things up a little bit, but it's usually a little bit nullified because we've already saw what happened with the CPI. So it's kind of reiterates it. So maybe it adds some volatility. If you're having a great 2025, congratulations. I know a lot of people. It's been tricky. There hasn't been a lot of edge, but there's been a lot of names that have been working. And a lot of the things that we focus on as far as how we execute, has helped. So hopefully it's helped you. And I appreciate you for tuning in. Going to go hang out with the Alpha team. Reciprocal tariffs. Why? It could happen today. Yeah, it could happen. So look out for reciprocal tariffs. That might shake things up today. What up, Papa Vin? Papa says, Scott, you're the man. That's not true. I just work hard. I just get up early. I've been doing this for a long time, and just try and instill a little bit of discipline in you guys because I've seen a lot of traders come and go. I am the chief strategic officer of T3. We have, I don't even know how many associate members that trade in RBD, had thousands of subscribers, and I just do the same thing every day. So if you want to kind of formulate your own process and routine so you could do it every day and then be able to maneuver whatever happens in front of you, at least you're grounded and you're set, and then every day, I've been in my sauna, exercising, working out, thinking, listening to motivational videos for probably a decade, but doing it like that. So now I'm doing it where, everyone's kind of turning it into their own thing, which is great. I love to add value. Sometimes I add too much and T3 is like, you give too much out for free. No, they never say that. But we got to keep the lights on. Look, the lights are off. I can't even put the lights on in here because we don't charge enough. No, I'm kidding. Have a great day, my dogs.